What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's destination is the Wynn Encore Poker Room. We're gonna play some 1-3 no limit today. Pretty interesting session. I think it'll be entertaining. Most of the session is played against one player we're gonna call the Fish throughout the voiceover. The guy was out of line, rude to dealers, berating players, talking about the hands with multiple players in action. Just all kinds of poor etiquette. There's some all-ins, some name calling. If you want to see me get called a douchebag, go ahead and fast forward to the hand at 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So let's get right into it. Here we go. We walk into the Wynn, get our name down for 1-3 and 2-5, which are vastly different games. The 2-5 plays deep, 1500. The 1-3 is a nice 500 max buy-in. Always like the deeper stacked buy-ins. We jump in the 1-3 first, and let's see how this game is. My third hand, I'm on the button. I straddle for $6 and pick up ace queen of clubs. Fish is under the gun and he limps for 3, not paying attention. Middle position limps and big blind calls the 6. I raise my option to 36. Big blind tries to take his call back, thinking he acted out of turn. The dealer tells him to put the 6 back in, but him and his fish buddy are having a hard time understanding that I get the last action when I straddle. And they're both being pretty rude to the dealer, who's just trying to explain to them how the action works. He finally puts his 6 in, and the fish says,
I got a shit card. Yeah,
he's got shit cards, and I believe him. Finally, he makes the call. We finally get to a flop of king, 9, 5 with 2 clubs. He checks. I bet 45, and he says,
I'm trying to buy it.
And makes the call. Turn is an ace of spades. He checks again. Now my hand is pretty strong here. I don't want to scare him off with a big bet, so I size down to 60 bucks, about a third of the pot. And he makes the call again. The river is bingo, 6 of clubs, giving us the nuts now. I'm hoping he makes a play at it, but he does check to me. I bet 120, and sadly he folds. But we pick up a nice pot to start the session. Just 3 hands later, we pick up ace king. The straddle is on from the fish on the button. +1 limps. I raise to $25. Straddle calls and announces it's his favorite hand. Everyone folds. We go heads up to a flop of king, 6, 8 with 2 diamonds. I go ahead and lead for $40. He calls. Turn is a 5 of clubs. The diamonds miss, but 2 pair and open-ended straights get there. In a larger game, I probably check for pot control, but I do decide to continue for a bet of 85 to see where he's at. And after a little bit of tanking, he ships it all in. He has me covered. I have about 350 left after the bet of 85. I tank for a little bit here and just come to the realization he's not quite capable of a bluff here. I'm not giving this guy any credit. Pretty easy laydown with 1 pair and no redraws. I could actually be drawing dead. So I go ahead and fold and show the ace king.
I know.
Show me the bluff for the vlog.
I don't need to show you anything.
Okay. All right.
But I had you. 9-7.
Nice hand.
I put you on ace king. I thought for sure you were going to call, actually.
So you heard him. He doesn't need to show me anything, but he did have me with 9-7 of diamonds, he actually said. So we'll never know. But moving on, next hand we pick up 3-5 of clubs. Sometimes I'll get tricky with these sort of hands under the gun and limp raise or just open. So I decide to limp here. Under the gun with 3-5 of clubs, nobody raises. We go 3 ways to a flop of ace, jack, deuce, rainbow. Good flop for me under the gun against the cutoff and the small blind. The small blind checks. I bet 10. The late position cutoff folds and the small blind calls. He only has about 100 behind. I feel like he maybe has a jack at best. Nothing to really draw at in this small pot. The turn is an 8 of spades, changing nothing. He checks again, and I feel like he'll fold to a turn bet without an ace this time, so I continue for 25. And he calls again with only 75 left. So I'm a little confused here what he has. River is the queen of clubs, so now I'm wondering if he can even fold his remaining 75, but I can't really give up right now with the 3-5, so I bet 50, and he does fold immediately. Next, I pick up 6-8 of clubs. In middle position, 3 limpers early. I limp and the fish makes it 15 in the cutoff. Player on my right calls and I call. We go 3 ways to a flop of 5, 7, 9 with 2 diamonds. So yeah, we flop the joint. We both check it over to the raiser, who says he has his favorite hand again, which was 7-9 last time, so hoping for some action here. He bets 15. The player on my right calls. He only has about 100 left. I put in the check raise to $50, hoping for a re-raise from the fish. Both players end up calling the 50. We get the worst turn card of the 7 of diamonds. First player goes all in for his remaining 64. Pretty sure I'm beat, but really can't fold to an all-in of this size. I call, the fish folds. The river is a 3 of hearts. The all-in shows the jack 8 of diamonds for the flush and the winner.
Losers too, you know? Nice hand.
So we flopped the nuts and lost that hand. It's been a while, so we were probably due. At least it wasn't too big of a hit. So we add on some money in this game. We're in the game for 800 now. And next I'm in the big blind with King 10 offsuit. Our friend blind raises to 15 out of turn from +1. Button calls to 15, and he's been a pretty tight player, so I decide it's a good spot to 3-bet here, looking to get heads up with the fish or just take down the 30. So I make it 60, and he says,
Oh, that's a significant raise, dude.
it's a pretty standard raise, but he does go ahead and makes the call. Button folds, and we are heads up to a flop of 10-6-5 with 2 spades. I lead out for 100, and he quickly calls. The turn is a brick, deuce of clubs. The pot is $335 now. I have about $350 left, so I think it's a good time to rip it in here. Not really worried about too many hands. I mean, a 3-4 could be in his range, but other than that, he's going to get paid if he does have it. So we jam it all in, and well, you can listen to the rest. And guys, I'd appreciate if you could hit that like and subscribe button before I get called a douchebag.
What you have?
Huh?
What did you have?
The winner out of 10.
Oh, you're not even going to show.
Can't show
douchebag.
Can't show that.
Can't show.
Haha, it's on now. I literally can't remember the last time I was called a name at the table. I'm usually pretty calm, pretty classy. I don't say much. So that was pretty hilarious. And now I decide I'm not leaving until he's busted. Next, I'm on the button. I straddle his big blind, 1 limper early. Fish makes it 18. Early limper calls, and I defend with the 8 deuce of hearts. I'm looking to play as many hands as I can against our buddy. We go to a flop of 8-3-3. He bets out $30. The other player folds. He only has about 140 left. I definitely didn't play this to fold when I hit top pair, so I announce.
All in. Last time I think Ross won something in this program.
He reluctantly slides in the rest of his chips, and the board runs out King of Hearts, 5 of Clubs. He shows the Ace-4 offsuit and quietly goes looking for some more chips to purchase. Happy to see him come back down and sit with 300 after a few minutes. Next, we are in the cutoff with Ace-5 offsuit. A few players limp. Our nemesis is in the big blind, so it's definitely getting raised. I make it 16. He calls, the other limpers fold, and we are heads up. He checks dark, so I decide to bet dark. Flop is 4-8 king. I bet 15 in the dark. He calls my dark bet. Turn is a 3. He checks. He doesn't have much left, so I decide to check back because ace high is likely good, so I'll take a free draw at a gut shot. River is a jack. He checks, and I check, and he shows 9-10 offsuit, which is no good. We'll take it down with ace high. Next, I am under the gun with 7-9 of diamonds. I open the action for $12. A few new players just sat down to my right. They both bought in for 300. New player from the big blind calls the 12. We go heads up to a flop of Queen 10-6 rainbow with 1 diamond. He checks. I flop a gutter ball and backdoor diamond draw, so I continue for 15. He decides to check raise me here to $30. I have no information on this player. He just sat down. He does look pretty new to the game. So I do just decide to call the 15 one time, looking for some help on the turn, and we'll go from there. The turn is a jack of clubs, giving us an open-ended straight draw now. He very nicely checks to me again, and I'm happy to take a free card. The river brings a king of clubs, so now we hit the bottom end of the straight. He checks again, so I'm guessing he just had a queen or maybe 2 pair on the flop. So I go for small value on the river with a bet of $25, and he does call with the queen 3 for top pair of queens on the flop, and he does get berated by our friend the fish, which is not cool. Next orbit, I am in the big blind with 7-8 offsuit, 2 players limp, late position. We go 4 ways to a flop of 5-6-6, giving me an open-ended straight draw. The small blind leads out $10. I call, the other players fold. Turn is Jen, 9 of hearts, giving us the nut straight. He bets out 25 now. This is the same player earlier with the queen 3 who check raised me, so I'm pretty certain he has a 6, so I decide to put in the raise to $75. He snap calls with a little over 200 behind now. All we need is a blank and we'll get the rest in. However, the river is a nasty 5, double pairing the board. He does very nicely check to me again. I check back. He shows king 6 for the full house. Pretty happy. We only lost the minimum. He didn't jam on the turn. Hang on, a quick word.
Good answer. How he doesn't bet that full house on the river, I have no clue.
Next, I have ace jack. 2 players limp early. I raise to $18. Fish calls from the button. Everybody else folds. We go to a flop of ace 4-5. I lead out for $20. He calls. Turn is a 10. He only has about $120 left. I just bet $100 to irritate him, and he folds. Okay, to the last and final hand of the night. A few orbits later, I pick up aces. Our nemesis is on the button. He straddles for the $6. We have aces. Dream spot on his straddle. He only has about 150 remaining. I raise to 20. He defends the straddle. We go heads up. Flop comes deuce 3-5 with 2 spades. I go ahead and check. He bets 30. I put him all in for the last and final time of the night, and he snap calls. Turn is the ace of hearts, as if we needed it, and the river is the 7 of diamonds. Apparently he had me before the ace hit, but we'll never know. He didn't show. He heads off to the bathroom. I wait around for a little bit longer, decide he's probably not coming back, so I rack up, and as I'm walking out, he sits back down with 200, but I decide it's not really worth it, so we call it a day. We climbed out of a hole and booked a winner. Alright guys, that's it. I gotta say that was my smallest win of the poker vlog so far, but pretty satisfying to felt him multiple times and teach him a lesson. And I thought it was hilarious that he didn't have to show me anything, but then called me a douchebag when I did not have to show my cards either. So that's pretty funny. Never show your cards unless you want to. I don't like to give out that kind of information very often, especially my 3-bet hands. So certainly wasn't going to share with that guy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and check back in on Sundays for the next video. Have a good one, guys.